Hey everybody, so we're just getting started. I just went to the bathroom, got everything ready to go, all packed up. As you can see, we're gonna stay out the night. I have my new hammock that we're gonna try out and see how hammock backpacking works out for me. It rained pretty much all morning, so it's a little wet. I'm gonna try and start a fire anyway. And see how that turns out. But pretty excited. It's a beautiful 60 degrees probably. I have some heavier clothes just in case it drops down, but right now it is awesome. So I'm ready to get this started. As you can tell, Angie is not with me today. I didn't want to bring her with me because I was gonna be staying out the night, and I've never done that with her before. Which I want to make sure that she's very comfortable staying out for the total amount of time that we would be out for. She also just shows signs of still being pretty immature with like being okay with stopping for periods of time and relaxing in the woods, because she wants to just keep going and going and going. And then the second reason is because I'm trying out the hammock, and so the hammock is very hard for me to go ahead and feel comfortable with her being out with me for her first time when I can't be in the same spot she is. Like, I could lay down a quilt on the ground or whatever, but that just doesn't seem like that would be very comfortable for her. And I know that she would want to be right near me if we were to stay out the night, just based off of her personality. So I figured I'd try out the hammock, come out here by myself, maybe do a fire, relax and eat, set some goals for the coming year for myself. So I brought my notebook with me, and just enjoy the weather. It's supposed to be beautiful tonight and tomorrow. Do some hiking. I'm really excited about it. All right, so we're about an hour into my hike. So probably about like 2.5 miles in or so. Haven't really stopped very much. I'm just trying to make sure that I get to the end of the trail that I want to get to by the time it's like 5 o'clock, because the sun's going to set pretty early tonight at 6. So I want to make sure that I have my camp set up for the night. Hopefully get a fire started if it's dry enough, and then just enjoy my time over there while I'm waiting for the sun to set. All right, so that's where we are. And if you look at Big Creek, that trail is what we're gonna try and get ourselves onto. Now, there were some points where I could have broke off. I could have broke off here at the Big Creek Trail, or the White Oak, or then the Pine Trail. But I decided that I'm gonna go around this big loop, come around this big side, have the creek going through my trail, and then go up towards Double Lake, which would be 5 miles away. And somewhere along the way, I'm gonna go ahead and stop and find a good spot. That's my plan. Here we go. Lucky for us, it rained, so the creek is actually flowing. Last time we were here, me and Angie, it wasn't. It was pretty much all dried up. I don't think I videotaped that one because it was just her and I without the GoPro, but now we have tons and tons of water if needed. I mean, I packed 2 liters, so that should get me through today. And then I have my water filter just in case, and I can fill that back up for breakfast. But had that not been flowing, it would have made this trip a little bit harder. So this is gonna be great. All right, let's go. So this is just really amazing because by the time I post this, I'll have posted my other video, and in the other video I kind of talk about how the riverbeds are all pretty much dry, and it rained for like 1 night here in Houston. But I mean, there was probably about like 12 inches of rain. And this is what 12 inches of rain will do. It'll take a dried up riverbed and turn the creek going again. Pretty amazing. All right, so I think I'm gonna have to turn around and go back to this other choice spot that I found. It just looked a lot better. If we look around me right now, it is thick, like really, really thick. I can't see 2 feet in front of you thick. And I've been hiking for about 25-30 minutes through this stuff, and I'm just not seeing anything that clearing up so that I could find a spot to even lay down today. So I gotta make the choice. I gotta go back about a half mile to a mile and go back to that spot that I found that looked like people had stayed at previously overnight, and know that I'm gonna have a spot to sleep tonight. I think that's one of the biggest things that happens, is like, if you don't start to think ahead of where you're gonna sleep at night, you can find yourself in a position where it's starting to get dark and you're gonna be really uncomfortable all the way through the night. And that's not what I'm coming out here to do. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want to be really comfortable with where I'm sleeping, so that I know, 1, I'm safe, but then 2, so that I can enjoy myself. And trying to break through this thick stuff to get to somewhere that might be sleepable is not really what I'm trying to do out here. For some people that might be the adventure they're looking for, but for me, not so much. So I'm gonna head back, and hopefully you'll see me in a little bit where I am at my spot for the night. All right, here's the spot. Took a little work to get here, but it was definitely worth it. I mean, look how open this space is. I think there's 2 trees that will work really well. And looks like there was already a fire in the area, so someone had built a fire pit right here. I can clear that out and get that going again. I think I'll probably set myself up here so that I'm a little bit away from the water. And then start collecting for a fire, clear that out, and then just enjoy myself. I'm liking this spot. This is gonna be really good. So something that I noticed just as I was setting up the hammock is you want something that's a bit wider than the hammock, but close enough that you can go ahead and set the hammock up, because, or you just need longer cord, because that was what I was struggling with. I had to end up trying out a couple different places to find one that really worked. And I finally found one that I think will work for the night. I don't think it's definitely not perfect, but I'm gonna try it out, see if it works. If not, then I'm gonna have to find a new spot again and try to get that perfect spot. All right, time to go find hopefully some firewood. It's not too damp. That's the only thing I'm gonna struggle with. The limbs are pretty dry, but the closer you get to the actual tree, not so much. But this will help us to get this thing started, and then hopefully we can go ahead and add some wet stuff in there and keep it going. Alright, so everything's kind of wet. I'm going to do my best to try and get a fire started tonight, but if not, it's not too big of a deal. I can make it through the night normally. It's not too cold here. It's probably in the 60s. I'm still in shorts and comfortable. But it's a nice to have. So I'm going to try and get this thing going. might go. Hopefully it does. Everything's kind of a little wet, but if it keeps burning like this, I'll go. I'm trying to get the best stuff on there, and then I can go ahead and add more wetter stuff later. Alright, so I got this thing going pretty good now, but the struggle that I'm going to have tonight is finding any more somewhat even dry wood. I'm going to go and look around a little bit. I mean, we're never going to get this thing super big today, just because of how wet everything is. There's a lot of down wood, but I'm just not finding any big stuff that's not like mush. So I'll keep this thing going as long as I can, and hopefully it makes it until it's dark and I can really enjoy it. Hopefully. Hey guys, so I'm getting ready to go to bed. Fire turned out great. Just to give you a quick update, I found the trail. I'm back on it and heading back home. What I ended up doing after doing that last check-in was I would go lay down, sleep for about 30 minutes, and then get up, walk around, go back, do it again. I guess there was really no way for me to expect that the temperature would drop as rapidly and as much as it did. It was supposed to stay in the 50s, but there's no way this is the 50s. And I mean, even right now, you can probably hear me shivering. I'm sure once I get hiking and keep going, I'll be good to go. But I'll check in with you as I get closer to the car and more light comes in. Alright, so we're pretty close to getting back to the car. As you can tell, it's turning into a very beautiful morning. What an interesting night, man. I can't even imagine. Kind of surprised that it dropped so low in temperature, but I made it work. Just meant that I had to get up around like 5 o'clock in the morning and just walk every once in a while just to make sure that I was staying warm. I thought, you know, my base layer of sweats and my down jacket would be enough, but it just didn't happen that way, which is pretty crazy. But I'm heading out now. Gonna go get warm. And then that'll be the end of this trip. I'll see you back at the car. See, I'm turning on to the last little bit of trail before we get back to the car. So I'm gonna end the video now. What an interesting trip.